and welcome to another episode of Retail Media Thursdays. I'm James Milligan, Head of Client Success at Sky, and today joining me is Ashley Royalty from Add3's. Welcome, Ashley. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's a great day here.
It is. Sun is shining. Welcome to Retail Media Thursdays. We're very excited to have you. Could you kickstart with a brief introduction to yourself and a little bit about Add3's?
Yeah, so I'm Ashley Royalty. I'm the GM of Add3's Shop, which is our e-commerce division within the agency. So all of my clients really focus on D2C, commerce, as well as brick and mortar. Excellent.
And you're obviously not native to the UK. Tell us a little bit about where you're from.
Yes. Yes, so you got that right. Came over from the US. Our agency is based in Seattle, Washington, but I'm actually down in Louisiana. So sometimes you might get a little southern accent coming out, but having a great time here.
So we are in a lovely setting today. Tell us what pub we're in and why you chose it.
Yes, so we're at Pub on the Park. Really chose this one because it's close to my hotel, but honestly, like, this view is amazing. We're seeing all the dogs running around and it's a nice day, so why not stop here?
It is. We're actually lucky to get in because when the sun is shining, it is rammed here.
Okay.
And you arrived earlier this week. Tell us a little bit about your plans and what your highlight of the week has been so far.
Highlight first is that I slept the whole time on the flight. So I think that's obviously like a great accomplishment so far. But being here, it's sunny, it's not raining, getting to see some of our clients as well as some of our team members has been great.
Excellent. And keep me honest, but you have your own event tomorrow as well.
We do. It's going to be talking about beauty and cosmetics and how the marketing and retail media is changing this.
Excellent. Excellent. So cutting into more of the retail media side of things, your agency is traditionally a full funnel agency. Can you tell us a little bit about how you approach retail media within that kind of landscape?
Yeah, so, retail media is just so fragmented, but it's also so new. So we're trying to figure out as marketers how to even approach retail media. We're taking a lot of the same building blocks, I would say, that we've done with full funnel and applying it to the retail media. So where does D2C start? We typically start bottom of funnel, paid search, since we know it has like the highest intent of the consumers, and that's really what we're doing with retail media, leaning into the sponsored product ads. Then we're just going up the funnel, thinking about it from like a display perspective, on-site, off-site, particularly with the retailers doing retargeting or maybe nurturing, as well as even prospecting. And then if we want to go all the way up to the top of funnel, similar to what we would do with D2C, we think of this as truly that awareness perspective. And so we're leaning into out of home or digital out of home as well as connected TV, but also tying in some of the retail media aspects into that to make it a bit more like these supercharged audiences of using the retailer's data.
Excellent. I like the way that you view supercharging the audiences. Mm-hmm. Could you kind of give our viewers a little bit more insight into how you would approach supercharging audiences, which is so critical in retail media? Yeah,
so I mean, the thing is, it's retail audiences is just a gold mine of first-party data. We all know this. It's so lucrative of being able to know, like, this is a person who shops at this specific location, they shop in these categories. It really builds that persona versus just assuming that it's maybe somebody who is buying children's stuff. It's like, that person is buying the high-end children's clothes, and you can make that a bit more targeted.
So removing the assumptions.
Yes.
And does that mean you have a full kind of data and analytics team, and is that kind of a core of how you drive value for your clients?
Yeah, so our team is really managed all within the Add3's Shop team itself. We don't necessarily have like an analytics team or a data team, but we really are able to look at everything together. With retail media, it's still so new, and that data is really just hard to find, and so like that's a challenge for marketers. So we're trying to lean into some tech that is able to have that closed loop measurement. That can either be done through investing higher in certain retail partners or tapping into Circana or IRI data to be able to see the lift in sales that are happening.
So when you partner with IRI, for example, is that a kind of a core pillar of what you're looking to do in terms of your whole measurement framework? And is that how you look to measure success of your campaigns and activations?
Yeah, it's definitely like changing the way that we're approaching it. Before, we might have just thought that upper funnel could just be views and impressions. But now with IRI data, we can start to take it a step further and change it to bottom of funnel and thinking about it from a ROAS and conversion or revenue perspective.
And is that an area that your clients are kind of challenging you on. How do you bring richer insights? How do we create that full funnel strategy and ultimately validate that approach?
Yes, exactly. And we started with one of our dairy brands where we originated with the client of just doing upper funnel prospecting, and it's like, yay, we've got 2 million impressions. And it's like, what does that really mean? And it's like, you want to be able to have these actionable insights, and it's hard to do when you're just looking at the assumptions, you could say, of just the impressions and the reach. And so our clients are really challenging us to really say, like, is this driving sales? And having this data more quickly is also helping these informed decisions, because otherwise we're waiting for the retailers to pass back this data from their sales teams, which who knows how
it's a lottery.
How long is that going to take?
Definitely. So taking a little bit of a step back, or moving away slightly from retail media, see, as an agency, you've done a lot of work with D2C brands who obviously have a slightly different approach. From some of your work with the D2C brands and some of the marketing innovation you've taken from the executions you've run with them, are there key learnings that you deploy when you speak to more retail commerce focused businesses?
And a lot of the D2C stuff that we've done, we're also modeling it now in retail media. So I just want to tie that piece into it as well. But it's really thinking about it from an omni-channel perspective, but also full funnel. So we know that our clients are very performance focused. They want to capitalize on revenue and have the best returns. They want to pump all their money in there. But now with this modern search and modern social approach is when you're thinking about, getting new audiences and finding that new customer acquisition, you have to feed the funnel. And so what we're doing is we're really trying to introduce these strategies to our clients that are a bit more actionable as we build up the funnel. So maybe not just those impression fluff driving campaigns, but it is like getting people to the site and having tangible actions. So getting them to add to cart, do a store locator, just knowing that it's an engaged audience on the site. And those are ways that we're kind of building this funnel and also being in that multi-channel aspect for our clients.
And do you find that you have to a degree, do some education or enablement with your clients around the benefit of full funnel and the changes that kind of modeling and approach can bring and the benefits it can bring?
Absolutely. I mean, what's great is when you have clients that really trust you as a marketer, and they're coming to you and they want to know, like, what's next. And because we have this experience, all these different commerce brands, they're all facing the same challenges on getting new customers. So we've kind of built this playbook that can really acquire that customer. Most of our clients, like I said, will start with bottom of funnel, paid search, but it is, as they're trying to scale it up, we show them different ways that they can go up the funnel.
Testing is a big part of your approach. Testing is also an approach that a lot of agencies and partners will take. How do you kind of stand out above the rest when you engineer your tests to prove that value?
Yeah, we always lean on the team of being curious. Like, don't get stuck in your ways and don't kind of have that set it and forget it mentality, but seeing what can happen. And so really our team, what we do is we identify what is the business challenge, and we figure out then what's our hypothesis on how to improve that. Then we establish what are the levers that we can pull, and then also what are the KPIs that are going to determine success. If not everybody on the team agrees what the success metrics are, then when the test ends, you're going to be like, great, did it work or not? And there could be varying degrees of agreements on that. So what we like to do is definitely make sure that the client agrees with what the KPIs should be, so that way we can determine if it's successful. And then do it again. And do it again. Because what worked for one test might not work for another one, but it's great to apply these same learnings across several different of our clients.
And I think that's a really poignant approach. When you come to applying learnings, do you apply different learnings or different approaches when it comes to non-endemic brands? And how do you see the opportunity with those types of brands as you kind of move into this full funnel approach towards retail and commerce?
Yeah, so taking it back. So a non-endemic brand is somebody who is not going to sell on that retailer site. This can be, when you think about it, from a tech or insurance. So it could be our client being a homeowner's insurance and being able to leverage Lowe's data, knowing that that's someone who's frequently shopping for their home. They're buying a lot of lumber, they're buying a lot of plumbing, they need help. And so being able to target them that way, knowing that it's not maybe a renter because they're buying stuff for their home. So that's one way we can leverage targeting for non-endemic brands, but also it could be still some CPG brands or retailer brands that are maybe just not selling on those other retailer sites. So keep it with the Lowe's example. If we have a condiments like ketchup or mustard as a client, and having those ads serve on Lowe's.com next to grilling essentials. Like, these are ways that we're really tying in the non-endemic piece to our retail media approach.
And with that approach, do you face any challenges with scalability? Obviously, you mentioned that the audience is critical, but sometimes those audiences can be niche. So how do you find that balance?
Yeah, I think we're just really learning right now, if I'm being honest. You're spot on. It's very niche, and when we started approaching this like modern approach to social and search, you're starting to think of like broad audiences because you want the algorithm to find the right person. I don't know if retail audiences are there yet, or if some of these platforms can really adapt to them. So we are doing some tests right now where we're taking the retailer audience data, so like an Albertsons shopper or a Kroger shopper, and doing an A/B test of those against just the contextual targeting or the traditional targeting we would have done, and see if they really are these supercharged. But I'll be honest, I hope that they work because that's what we're basing everything on.
But testing to find the edge in that 1%, I think
exactly.
That's where we see a lot of our most sophisticated advertisers really find that game-changing formula.
And you can't do this one-to-one or really niche targeting with some of those Facebook audiences. That doesn't exist. They want to keep it more broad. And so having the retailer data to try to kind of build that persona into like a molded fashion, it's great. I remember we were talking to a supplement company for babies and for moms, and they were like, we want to target moms of triplets because they're going to have a higher AOV and a higher lifetime value. And I was like, we cannot do that. And that was a couple of years ago when we were looking at just Facebook. But now when you think about what retail media is offering, things like that could have potential.
And there's definitely been a big shift, particularly with some of those social advertising platforms. Do you now see Meta and Facebook more of a social commerce player, or how are you looking at potentially building and priming those audiences with the non-traditional kind of broader more platforms?
Yeah, at the end of the day, Meta or Facebook is going to be the strongest from a bottom of funnel perspective. Their AI is spot on no matter how much we want to cringe at them sometimes.
How much we don't want it to be.
Yes, exactly. And so where we're seeing social commerce though really thrive though is on the TikTok side of things. So TikTok Shop right now is just growing exponentially for our clients. Facebook is actually forcing you, if you have shops, to be able to do that on Instagram, but because it's not really working as well. Our clients aren't seeing the scale there, but with TikTok shops, that's where we're able to really leverage the affiliate networks, having that open collaboration of people bringing in their organic community, but also putting paid amplification behind it, and we're just seeing that our clients are just seeing great growth.
Excellent. And I mean, the landscape has changed dramatically. It's very, very fast-paced, very dynamic, and sometimes it's hard to keep up. How do you approach kind of keeping ahead of the curve and staying on top of the latest retail trend?
Yeah, it's a lot. It goes back to that curiosity. We're always seeing new things that are happening. It's doing our research, leaning into our retailer partnerships and seeing what's truly available out there, and also just being a hand raiser, saying if new things are coming down the pipeline, our clients want to try it, because that's just how we're going to be able to get the foot in the game.
What is the next big trend you're betting on in retail? Where do you think we're going to be in maybe 6 months' time?
Yeah, it's going to come down to tracking, I think, is something that's really needed. Tracking, data, measurement, and being able to aggregate it. And I know that there are great solutions that you can do that, because that's a need that clients are needing and brands are needing, because right now there's so many different platforms. I think there's over 200 different retail media networks, and it's probably going to double by next year. And so being able to aggregate everything in one place and be able to have these actual insights is going to be something that's key.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you kind of aggregating and looking at your data points across those retailers today?
Yeah, right now how we're aggregating our data is it can be a little bit, chicken and the egg, because it is a bit fragmented right now. And luckily some of our clients are focused all on either those that are in the Criteo network or those that are in Instacart. And unfortunately, we do have to do a lot of data dumps and combine them all into an Excel spreadsheet or a Power BI in order to see those in a consolidated reporting method. But that's just one way that we're doing it right now.
Excellent. think that covers all of my core
Okay.
questions. So you're in London for the weekend. What have you got planned?
We've got some client dinners that we're doing. Probably gonna hit up a few nice pubs because I like pubs. And also I'm gonna go to the Harry Potter show.
Nice. Back to back?
Back to back, sitting through it.
Excellent. And you're going to a lot of pubs. What's your favourite drink?
Cider. I'm really liking the ciders. That's what I got right now. In the US, I'm in Louisiana and we don't have ciders at all. So,
wow.
I mean, unless you just want, unless you want Angry Orchard. So it's really nice to kind of try it up here and have a little bit of that fruitiness.
Angry Orchard is dangerous though.
It is.
It is dangerous.
It is.
Nice. What's your favourite thing about travelling or visiting different cities?
Yes, I love trying the different foods. I think that's the coolest part for me. Love to travel, always going to either LA or New York, and now coming here to London often. So it's really nice being able to try the different types of food and also just being able to see all the people. And, not everybody's as scary as you think they are.
What's the favourite restaurant? Where's the
Yeah.
must go?
I would say that I'm going to give you the favorite food type, and so it's definitely Italian. I love a good spaghetti. If my husband asked me what we want for dinner, I would probably see spaghetti every single night.
Excellent. I'll just have to send you some Italian recommendations
Good.
while you're here then.
I would love that.